Anybody can do ballet.
You're Up and Adam.
Chapter systems are offline.
We are Beyond FM.
Beyond FM
The future of broadcasting is here.
is here.
Up and Adam with Adam Montiel. It's community content from Concentrate. It's Up and Adam with Adam Montiel.
Some say life is where it begins. Straight to the stars is where it ends. Yes, some say life is just where it begins. Straight to the stars is where it ends. Only to start again.
Happy Thursday, inching towards the weekend. Been beautiful. Besides that Dodger game, ugh. Thanks for being Up and Adam. I'm Adam Montiel. So, Arttober. But what do a master choreographer and an engineer professor have in common? Well, if you're talking about Theresa and Blair London, it's ballet. And not just ballet, but ballet with soul, with story, and with slow cal style. These two aren't just teaching dance moves, they're preserving a legacy, inspiring creativity, and turning a small black box theater into a vessel for emotional storytelling. And some of these stories, they hit you straight in the gut, we'll learn, or the heart. Trust me, if you think ballet is all tutus and Tchaikovsky, you're about to get your mind pure wedded. Did I say that right? Theresa and Blair from Ballet Theatre SLO. They'll be joining us later as we talk Arttober, as we have been all month long, our partnership with the city of San Luis Obispo. You definitely don't want to miss this one. And before we get right into our chat, I want to thank my friends at Life Elements for being Up and Adam. There is this little spot in Atascadero you would never notice if you weren't looking for it. Tucked in the back corner of a plaza at 7425 El Camino Real. It's like a skincare speakeasy, except instead of cocktails, they're serving up hand-whipped arnica salve, bug spray, maybe broad spectrum CBD magic. This is Life Elements. Every product here feels like it was made just for you, because sometimes it literally was. Owner Martha's in the back cooking up batches in real time. You want clean, plant-based products that actually heal? This is the place. Aches melted, skin glowing, mosquitoes handled. You can shop Life Elements at their spot, like I said, 7425 El Camino Real, Suite O, at back right corner of the plaza. You can also go to lifeelements.com. Check them out. Use the promo code Adam while you're there. Save 15% online. Support real wellness made by real people right here in SLO-Cal. Check out lifeelements.com for more. Get in there too and let them know you heard them on Up and Adam.
It's Up and Adam with Adam Montiel.
All right, today we're joined by two artists who embody grace, grit, and gutsy storytelling. Theresa Slobodnik, also Blair London from Ballet Theatre SLO. Together, they've built a home for classical ballet right here in SLO-Cal. But they're not just preserving an art form. They're breathing new life into it. That's what's so exciting, from raw, emotional pieces like Hunchback of Notre Dame to original works inspired by family, loss, all of the above and everything in between. These two are making ballet feel real, feel accessible, and which I think is a real theme for some of these folks that we've talked to, whether it's the symphony or the opera, niches of performance art that sometimes feel a little closed off or a little bit intimidating to wrap your head and heart around. But not these folks, and certainly not the two you're going to meet today. Whether you're maybe like an aspiring dancer or just someone who thinks ballet might not even be for them, you're about to have your perception shifted a bit. Excited to welcome Theresa and Blair to Up and Adam. Thanks, guys, for being here.
Thank you.
Great to be here.
I am excited to do this because it is fun to have conversations, especially folks, with folks in the community that can enlighten me on something I know nothing about. And ballet is one of those things. I did athletics growing up and karate, so I wonder, I might have even been pretty okay at it. Like I have balance, or especially when I was a kid. But I just never got into ballet. And to be honest, like I mentioned, a kid I went to high school, to even elementary school with, and the kids who did like jazz or this or that, they just got brutalized, made fun of. But ballet, and as I'm learning, doing this Arttober, opera, this or that, one of the most like beautiful pieces of like performance art there is, and one that I think think, like the symphony, Theresa, like the opera, we just need more gateways to get people in and make it feel approachable, like they can understand it, wrap their heads around it, and enjoy it.
Yes, I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah. So how did ballet find you first? And when did you first kind of see this was something that was, really lighting you up?
Well, it started as a very young child. I was 3, and there was a brilliant woman. She was a ballerina who had become a protege of Martha Graham, and she was teaching something called contemporary ballet in the 50s. That gives you an idea how old I am.
Awesome.
And my sister started taking lessons from her, and then my mom put me in also. And of course, I followed my big sister.
Yeah.
And my first great big role was the pig baby in Alice in Wonderland. And I just got carried around and I cried the whole time.
Oh, that sounds like...
But I was hooked.
Yeah, sounds like the things that I did as a kid. Like I'd go up there and just cry and run off the mat or do,
Yeah.
I was a real baby when I was a kid. It took doing some things and really my parents no, you need to go out there and stick with it and kind of builds you up. And so did you have an inherent talent at ballet in the beginning or was it very learned, as you...
Oh, no, my sister and I were, and I have another sister that's younger than me, and we all danced. We all were very talented. We just were, fortunately. My mother made sure that we weren't doing something that was not going to work for us. And she did all the costuming, and oh my gosh, it was a time.
Now, when I was a kid, I was, like I mentioned before, getting picked on, and my mom was like, you need, stand up for yourself and discipline, these things. And here we go, martial arts. And it really helped a lot in me way into adulthood. When you joined ballet, what were the kind of things that it taught you as a young girl and into even womanhood?
Listen. There's, a big thing about listening and paying attention and doing exactly what you're asked to do so that you grow as a dancer. That was huge. And just watching the director, she was such an artist. I mean, at that time, people smoked while they taught, so it was a little
old school.
With the cane,
Yeah.
But it was magical, and all the kids at school thought anyone that took ballet, there was, I think, one other family that the girls took ballet, and we were all worshipped. It was interesting.
Yeah. That's so cool.
Yeah.
And then at some point you become a teacher, you want to mentor other people and other young dancers.
Yes, I went, when my teacher left the area, I was kind of devastated, and I didn't dance for a couple of years, and then I started doing modern. I had a really great modern she was an actual modern dancer that was a professional and taught in public high school, and that was fantastic. And then I went back to ballet and tap and jazz and all that stuff, and it never really, got me where I felt the same type of artistry as I did from my first teacher. And so when my mentors, Gilbert and Sidney Reed, massive professional careers, came to San Luis Obispo, they were retiring, and they decided to just start teaching. And so I saw one of my friends, she said, you have to take from this guy, he's the real deal. And I went and danced for him for 14 years professionally. He gave me a career. He gave me every single bit of knowledge he had. And then when he retired, I retired from professional dancing, sort of. You never really retire.
Sure.
And then I started teaching. And then I realized I have all this. It was given to me, and now I have to give it to someone else.
Oh, that's so cool.
It is so cool.
It's really neat. I'm kind of learning that now in this piece and chapter of my career. We talked earlier, before we got on the air, about transitioning from terrestrial radio into what we're doing with podcasts, and did something at the Central Coast Writers Conference and led a workshop there, and then did a TEDx and then you have college students going, hey, I want to start a podcast. Can you help me? And it's well, this is so cool. I'll just pour everything out.
That's it.
I want you to know everything I know and do with it what you want.
Exactly.
And that's the way to pay it forward, isn't it?
It is. And it's we just had a memorial because both of my mentors passed. And we had all of our dancers at Ballet Theatre doing his ballets. He was the choreographer.
Wow.
And it was very moving to see them just embrace and just the joy that they had. I mean, it was hard work.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Absolutely. Well, look, I mean, just the idea of being like on your toes, and we're not talking figuratively, we're talking absolutely literally on your toes, you know? Blair, tell me your story and how ballet found you and what you and your heart and mind and soul has gotten out of it over the years.
So I had a little bit different path than Terry. Back when I was growing up, my parents folk danced. It was, at the time, I grew up in Philadelphia, and folk dancing was huge. There'd be hundreds of people that came to festivals, and my parents would go every week, and they would bring me along. So I started folk dancing. I was pretty good at it, and I was actually teaching folk dance as a teenager to lots of other adults and things like that. But then gradually I got interested in other forms of dance, and ballet kind of attracted me. I started taking classes. I started doing performances, and I've lived in many different cities, East Coast, West Coast, in the Midwest. I've always danced. I've always performed. And I've always kind of been behind the scenes too. So I'm behind the scenes in Ballet Theatre and on stage, and it was that way with other dance companies. And also, I'm one of three brothers. I'm the middle.
Like you with one of three sisters. Wow.
And we're very close. We're 14 months apart.
Wow.
We all dance.
Cool.
So my older brother's a modern dancer. I am now ballet, although I've done a bunch of different things. And my younger brother was a professional ballet dancer for many years. So it must be something in our genes.
Absolutely. It's in the blood.
And the teaching part, I think I was born a teacher. I've always wanted to teach everything. I came to San Luis Obispo to teach at Cal Poly. My actual career that pays me money is engineering. And I taught engineering at Cal Poly for a long time. I have since retired from that. But I've always been a teacher, and I always wanted to teach what I've learned. Plus, when I did ballet, it was just something that was so satisfying, and just expressing the music with dance, with my body, with other people. It was just terrific.
What is it about engineers with this other side of their coin that really desires? I mean, we had in here Dane from the Central Coast Comedy Theater, and I'm reading up on him and Googling him, and I find his Cal Poly senior project about rocket vectors, and I mean, really, and here he is, like, shedding that, or at least temporarily, to be immersed in this art.
A lot of engineers have an artistic side. A lot of engineers, in addition to all the calculations and all of that area of the brain, we have this need for balance. So it's some creative endeavor. It's, music, it's art, it's dance. So there's a lot of people that do both.
So you are both left and right brain fit.
Yeah,
right
I am.
What was it like? Let me ask you, being a man or a young boy or a young man in ballet. I was talking about, this poor kid that would just get brutalized and just like made fun of when I was in elementary school. Yeah. What was it like, and how did you rise above it?
I'm not sure I rose above it. I just dealt with it.
Yeah.
It happens, unfortunately. But what's more surprising, I got teased as an adult.
Stop.
As an adult, I got teased as a male dancer as an adult. And at that point, it's like, that doesn't do anything.
No, but at some point you're just like, I don't know, there's something that happens. It's definitely past your 30s when you're just so comfortable in yourself that it's just like, you just got to feel bad for someone like that. I mean, they got to be so insecure. And so, like, I don't know if they didn't get hugged enough, or their mom didn't put their shit on the fridge, or something happened there, right? How do you do that to someone?
Most of those people are just jealous.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. They just thought, well, I could do that, but, they're going to lash out.
Yeah. Wow. But then you did rise above it. I would say you did. I think that's really exciting. Good for you.
Yeah, I love it. I love dance. I love teaching it. I love doing it. It's just, it is fulfilling to my soul.
What is it about ballet? And I'm not saying ballet has a problem, but as I was talking to the folks of the symphony and the opera, these are very niche pieces of performing arts. And sometimes, like the symphony does, Pops by the Sea. And it's a really it's the ability to cast that wide net. Hey, you're going to come in here, you're going to hear the themes to E.T. and Indiana Jones. You're going to be by the beach. And this is a great gateway to get you in to see how incredible the symphony is. Same thing with opera, right? They just did this Hansel and Gretel thing where, I mean, just like, bringing people in, the family, the kids, and showing people how cool opera can be as a story, too. What is it about ballet that, where do we need to cast that wider net so more people can appreciate what a cool dance segment of dance this is?
I think they need to realize that ballet is more than just boring dance on stage. Ballet is telling big stories on stage, and it's gorgeous and it's beautiful and it takes your breath away. And so many people, they hear ballet and it's like, I don't want to do that. I don't go to ballet. But when they see a big theatrical ballet that tells a story, that takes them someplace that they didn't even think they were going to go, that's when that connection makes. And the more we can make that connection, the better off we are. And we've done all kinds of things with different with families and different, trying to get the word out there and trying to get our performances seen by lots of people. Yeah.
It affects the human condition. When you see someone tell a story with no words, people always ask, okay, who's the narrator, or, the play? And we're like, no, it's a ballet. It's a story told through dance. And as Blair and I were just referencing Hunchback of Notre Dame. I mean, that was such an emotional ballet. It was incredible. And most of our ballets, we do light things. We did Coppelia recently, which is an older ballet that's very light and, engaging for people that aren't used to really having their guts torn out by a story, that's so intimate, and it's really cool.
Because we were talking about that before we cracked the mics, that this idea of storytelling through ballet is something that you have particularly really wrapped your head and heart around.
Yes, and I take little tidbits from people. Blair said, "Hey, what about Hunchback?" And then my oldest daughter had made a sculpture. And she said, "Mom, I have this idea for a ballet, and it's a woman who has a daughter, and she's dying, and she sees her daughter in 3 stages of life. And there's the innocent little child. There's no father involved. And then there's the absolutely rebellious adolescent. And then there's the one that the oldest, when she's at her oldest, leaving, that same girl comes back just wanting to come back to her mother." And everybody in the theater is like, where is the tissue?
Niagara Falls, baby. Niagara
my
Falls.
gosh. And it's so, they don't expect it, It's amazing. And I think it touches anyone who has dealt with children, or, or even if they're your students and you've had a conflict. It touched everybody in the theater, and that's what we do. It doesn't have to be that heavy all the time. There's happy ones, but it's amazing.
How did it feel for your daughter to wrap her heart around ballet, and now she's, hey, Mom, I got this great idea. You're just like, yes.
Well, she's an artist. She danced all the way up through age 13, and then was doing sports, but she's a contralto. And she's...
What's that mean? Sorry.
It's not an alto, okay?
Oh, okay.
It's above an alto, and actually she's probably a mezzo.
Oh, okay, I've heard that. Okay,
so
right.
A mezzo. Yeah. And has this incredible voice, but she's an artist. She's a physical artist with clay. She's just amazing. And so that ballet, and it's a small ballet, there's basically 4 people in it until the mother dies, and then the mourners come. So I'm like, wow, amazing.
Also, when not just the creativity part of it to coming up with a ballet like that, but the dancers in that piece and in other pieces that Terry has done, the process of going through the rehearsals and the performances, it changes you. You grow, you develop all kinds of things you never thought about, confidence and artistic ability, and it's amazing how much we see it all the time in dancers that are coming up through the school and people that join us when they already have danced for a while. Everyone grows in performance. Everybody. It's a it's a really cool thing to be part of.
Let's talk like inside baseball, inside ballet. 'Cause I want to know a little bit more like the shoes. Are they expensive, or do you have like a trillion pairs of them? Or it's like, these are my performance shoes. These are my practice shoes. Are they even called shoes? What is, let's talk about some of the intricate things behind ballet.
Well, ballet shoes vary with the project that you're doing. So not every project is done in point shoes, if that's what you're referring to. So you might have character shoes. You might have just ballet flat slippers. You might be wearing dance boots, which are very cool for something like Robin Hood, or you are on point. So if the big thing is point shoes, most of the other shoes that I just described are they're expensive, but they're not as expensive. The whole point shoe thing has just gotten out of control. All the makers that were revered, that when I was growing up, this maker, that maker, they were all handmade, and you could write to your maker and get a certain shoe and everything. And it was a different time. And then it all started changing, and, this and that. And now one company, you get a good shoe, and then they go out of business, or they sell it to somebody else, and now they have somebody else making it, and it's ridiculous. So it's very difficult because it's very hard to find shoes here because, we have one store here that has, floored some shoes, one company, but that doesn't work for everybody. So you go online, and you go on eBay, and you go on all these places.
Wow. But you can't get them on Amazon. It's not like you're going to get good ballet shoes on Amazon.
You can, but you're checking, my dancers are checking every source they can to find the shoe that they need. And it's exhausting, and it's very expensive. I mean, shoes have gone up since when I was a kid, they were like $8 for a pair of point shoes. And now they're like $140.
Damn.
And they don't last very long if you really know how to dance.
Like a production maybe? Or like how long will they last you? A couple months?
Probably if you're doing a production, depending on, you'll wear them out easily. You may have to use 2 or 3 pairs depending on what you're doing.
And wear them out, that's like, there's like a leather in front that goes away, or they get too loose? What is?
No, they just break down. So in a point shoe, you're on top of your foot. And so you have to have certain strength in the shoe, in the, the vamp, in the sole, the whole, there's a lot to it.
What about injuries? How do ballet people get injured? Like, did I break my toe? Or is it like ankle things? What are some things that, as a ballet, some of the fundamentals, conditioning that you're worried about in teaching your students?
Yes, of course. Everyone's legs and ankles and knees and feet are different, so you can't just say one thing fits all. But there's a lot of good work in, all the different ways to save yourself, strengthen your ankles, get a shoe that works for your foot that's not causing you to work too hard to stay on point. There's just all kinds of things out there that, you just have to find it for yourself and maybe go to a doctor and see what they have or a physical therapist and all that kind of stuff. Because once you're injured in ballet, it's very difficult to reattain what you had. You're concerned, that might happen again. So, it's tricky.
Well, proper training, which I hope we do at our place, and we spend a lot of time on how to use your body and how your body works and how things are supposed to work. With a proper training, you can really stave off a lot of injuries. Mm-hmm. And a lot of things, a lot of people ask me this question all the time: does ballet hurt? Growing up, my teacher wanted me to do this. If you're doing it correctly, it should not hurt. It should not hurt. I mean, you're definitely going to push your body. You're definitely going to be active. It's very physical, but it shouldn't hurt your body to do ballet correctly.
And what are some of the main, like when you're a white belt in ballet, right? Like you're just beginning, is it like pirouettes? Is it just walking on the toes? Is it spins?
That comes later.
It's all later. Okay.
Later.
So you're just really getting to know your body in the beginning.
And getting to know how your body works in a ballet mode. Like one of the big things is, are my knees bent or are they straight?
Okay.
Do I do this with straight legs? Do I do this with bent legs? So, and it looks easy. And people look at it and say, I can do that. But when you get up and try and do it, it's like, it's a little little more nuanced, a little more complicated than I thought, which is fun.
Yeah.
It is fun.
So you guys do, now let's talk about the ballet theater, because not only do we do classes, and we'll talk about the kind of classes that you both teach, but we are also putting on performances. I mean, we're going to put the whole link to your upcoming season in 2026, but I mean, February, March, May, into the fall, I mean, winter. I mean, you guys are putting things together throughout the year.
It's a performing art. We need to not just be in class, we need to have outlets for performance. And so one of the things that we do is we do give everyone who wants to at our place an opportunity to perform. You can be a beginner, you can be intermediate, you can be a professional. If you want to perform, we will take you through the process to do that. So yeah, we've got a whole season coming up, and all of the shows are at our studio. We're going to focus on our BlackBox Theatre, which is right at our studio. We seat 100 people. We control everything, which is good and bad, so we're learning how to do that.
That's exciting.
We're pretty good at it. We're doing it for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, because like you got sound, you got probably lighting, right? I mean,
Yes.
We have lighting, which we're going to enhance since we're going to be using it a lot. And, you know, we have a great team. We have a great costume mistress that is working with us. And we have my husband and his team. He does all the sets. And my son-in-law actually is doing the lighting now. So
It's a big family thing. It's great.
right?
Yeah.
It's all in the family.
But
I
we're
love
all
that.
in the arts, you know, we all know the value of the arts, and that's the whole thing. You know, I have singers, I have a cellist, we have all the stuff, grandkids with all the stuff, you know, it's pretty great.
So you'll have those things in the performance?
Which things?
Like singers and cellos and stuff?
We have had,
Cool.
we have had several live music things, and
It depends on the project.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of people, if they do go to the ballet, what is it? Probably like Nutcracker, right? That might be like an
That's
experience.
what they think.
That's what they think, right? So what does that show us that is, you know, true to ballet? And what is like you would want to tell someone, hey, it's not all Nutcracker kind of stuff. It's also this. We want to have the right kind of frame of mind.
yes.
Yeah, Nutcracker is great.
Yeah.
Nutcracker is great. Super popular here, and it is a big story on stage, and it's, you know, a lot of spectacle and things like that. But and I grew up doing countless Nutcrackers in every place I've been.
It's a good gateway drug to ballet, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
but you got to get beyond that.
Yes.
You got to get past that, and ballet is so much more rich than just the Nutcracker. So take that story and put in another story, and you've got some great stuff on stage.
let's talk about the classes that you both teach. Blair, tell me some of the instructions that you focus on at Ballet Theatre.
Okay, so we've got a pretty active ballet school, and our brand is ballet. We do ballet. So my role is I teach our adult classes, and for better or worse, COVID was pretty good for adult ballet. So after COVID, not during COVID, COVID was terrible, but after COVID, a lot of adults decided, I think I'll try that. I think I'll do something.
I've been sitting on my ass for too long.
Maybe.
because of COVID.
So we've got a beginning class that is absolutely beginning. You take your first class ever. And I just had someone last week start for the first time. Happens all the time. And it's a true beginning class. It's not kind of a beginning class that's made for people that already dance. I take it from the basics. And then we also have an intermediate class. We have a beginning intermediate class. And then if you're interested and want to, there's a path to go to the more advanced levels that Terry teaches in addition to the kids. And if you want to perform on stage, you can do that. We've had adults that started as an adult, never danced before, and are now dancing in performance in multiple performances.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they're big players. I mean, they're not sitting on the sidelines.
Right.
They're doing the real stuff.
Are kids easier to teach because their bodies are just still forming? We can, you know, they haven't been all figured out yet, so they can grow into learning how to condition them.
Well, it's interesting because kids, you know, their brains are still learning. And the way I teach them is that they have to memorize, and they have to pay attention, and you know they have to understand what they're doing, not just stick your leg over there and point your toe. How do you do it? You know, what makes it happen? How does this work to keep your body safe, as Blair was talking about? So I teach them even from age 3. and I'm not doing the littles anymore. We have two wonderful teachers that are teaching the youngest levels, and I'm grateful for that because I am getting older. But they're doing a terrific job. But it's so important to teach them to understand what they're doing. They have to learn musicality. They have to do a lot of things, and it's not just the steps themselves. It's why, and they have to learn to act. What's your thing here? What are you saying? You know? And so they are. I have a youth ballet group, and they are such intelligent dancers, and they're just a pleasure.
Let's say somebody moves to SLO here and they have experience. I used to live in LA and I love ballet, and you could welcome somebody in that's got a ton of experience, and they
happens all the time. Happens
Awesome.
all the time. Yep.
All the time.
Yeah, they're trying to keep their skills honed, and
And a lot of times they're very surprised, even after dancing in big schools in big cities, how much they're learning from what we're doing. They're like, whoa, technically, theatrically, everything. So,
and I love that, and I feel like we talk about that theme on this show a lot. Is like, we are not in a big metropolitan market, not LA, not San Francisco, but there are so many people here, whether it's what you guys are doing or maybe certain whether it's chefs, this or that, who they express their talents in a big market way. Like, it sounds like you could take this ballet theater, stick it right next to one in Los Angeles, and be right up at caliber with it, Yep.
Yeah.
And that is what's so exciting. Good for you guys. That's great.
It's really exciting, just to see people, like, they moved here, they got whatever. We have a couple people, we just moved here, we got married and everything, and oh my gosh, this is awesome,
I thought I was going to go to some podunk ballet thing.
Right.
Have it in the barn.
How can we support? Is it a nonprofit?
It's a nonprofit. We are a 501c3 nonprofit.
Awesome.
Mission to keep classical ballet, all the traditions alive and thriving.
So this is really, if you're a business listening, or you want to pool together, or corporate donations, or maybe corporate sponsorships, I'm sure you probably, explore. This is a great 501c3 local performance arts base that you can support and feel really good about.
Yeah, definitely.
Plus, we have our BlackBox Theatre shows coming up. We have several of them this year. You could sponsor a show, and we'd put you at the top of the program. We would tell things all about your businesses, things like that. And you could come to the show and say, look at that. Yeah, I sponsored this.
That's
cool.
pretty cool.
This is cool. You can see it. And with the black box, you're about, 15 feet away from the dancers when they're performing.
Yeah.
They're that close. It's great.
Wow, that's cool. Well, I'm going to put all the info in the show notes so folks can learn more about how they can support you, in addition to coming to these shows. Now, for the rest of 2025, do we have a November and December show or a Christmas show? What are we doing? Are we done for this year?
Basically, we're having a party.
A Christmas party.
Yeah, cool. I'm going to redo that, so I don't have to ask that.
Yeah. Okay.
So we have online, we got links in the show notes to the 26th season, and we are doing a little get-together later on this season, aren't we?
Yes, we are, and we're actually going to have performances at the party. So it's going to be really fun. We're just doing a lovely holiday. We did that last year. We had a lovely holiday party, and it was so much fun.
It was a lot of fun.
That's rad.
Yeah.
We'll put links in the show notes to that.
Great.
What do you think after we get out of here? Could you teach me a couple things? I've never done ballet. I know, look at your face. Blair, you got to have a better poker face than that, my man. What am I, do I look like a lost cause? Probably so. I probably am.
Not really.
Yeah.
Anybody can dance. Anybody can do ballet.
I love this.
Anybody.
I'm in flip-flops, but it's all toes anyways, right? So you didn't expect me to have ballet shoes.
No, there's things like your center and your port-a-bras, and, it's not just the feet.
Yeah, I don't want to show you my port-a-bras, but I don't even know what that is, but something tells me I'm insecure about my port-a-bras. Let's go out there and see if we can't do a little ballet, but I got, again, all the links in the show notes. Theresa and Blair, what a pleasure to meet both of you and to learn more about
Likewise.
A local nonprofit performing arts, organization that I didn't know anything about. And I'm so excited to have met both of you.
Thank you.
Oh, thanks. It's been great. It's
Thank
been great.
you.
It's been a pleasure.
Some say life is where it begins. Straight to the stars is where it ends. Only to start again.
All right, a huge thank you to Theresa, to Blair. And yes, if you need a laugh, and I mean a real laugh, check out my Instagram for my own very humbling attempt at ballet. And I will tell you, it is not easy. I mean, I was feeling like muscles all the way up through my calf, my back. I'm like, damn, this is not easy. But I can't say he didn't make it fun, because he certainly did. So I definitely appreciate both them being up and at 'em. And as we wrap up October, shoot, it has been anything but ordinary. Arttober. From live performances to public art, museums, the always fun piano in the plaza, creativity is everywhere. It's all around you. Don't miss it. You can still find your Arttober adventure at slowcity.org/Arttober. All right, before we bounce out of here, I want to tell you about my friends at Singers Big and Tall. You know what I love. A business that doesn't just sell clothes, they serve people. And that's why I'm pumped. Singers Big and Tall is right here in San Luis Obispo. After 50 years in the game, since 1975, they've moved from Santa Barbara to Los Osos Valley Road, right next to the Rib Line. Couple businesses down to the right in that plaza. And these guys don't just size you, they see you. Bruce and Ellen are the heart of it all. Their hospitality is next level. Shopping for a wedding, they'll even tailor what you buy there, right there in-house. And if you need help, they'll even FaceTime you. They'll help you shop via FaceTime. They're so great. People are just so good. Big and tall or just hard to fit, this is your spot. Show them some love. Singers Big and Tall. Fit happens here. All right, I hope you're getting ready for the weekend. Tomorrow is Friday. Looking forward to it. Thanks to our friends at Moonshiner Collective for original music on the show called Start Again. Also, thanks to our friends at Tamber Winery for giving us the Tamber Lowbro Studios. You can taste their wines in the village of Arroyo Grande. TIMBRE, tamberwinery.com for more. Yes, don't forget, get to Instagram and check out the video of me doing ballet at the Tamber Lowbro Studios. It's something to behold. I can't even, hitting post, having my finger hit the post button, it was like fighting itself, but nonetheless, it is there, so you can check that out. Also, don't forget, go to adamontiel.com. There you can nominate a family for our Breaking and Entering Christmas. I know it is not even Halloween. What am I doing talking about Christmas? Well, we gotta help a family. We don't even know who that family is. That's what feels so amazing about it right now. Our heart is being led towards a family that we haven't even met yet. So if you know of a family that's having a tremendously hard year, from financial loss, illness, death in the family, who knows? We've seen a lot of different scenarios. Let us know if this family is certainly, Christmas is not in the cards for them. Introduce us to them. Tell us about them. Go to adamontiel.com. You can hit the Breaking and Entering Christmas button right on the homepage and let us know what you can. And I can't thank you enough for getting involved. All right, till tomorrow, when it will be Friday. Appreciate you connecting here so much. Thank you for being here. I'm Adam Montiel, and I appreciate you being up and at 'em.
Some say life is where it begins. Straight to the stars is where it ends. Only to start again. Let's start again. We'll start again. Let's start again.